Welcome to the Muskegon Channel. It's Andy O'Reilly partnering up with Community Choice Credit Union. Courtney Perrette is here today. She is to talk about holiday budgets and finances and all that kind of stuff that I love to go hog wild with, but I'm never really all that good at doing it. Courtney, thanks for taking a couple of minutes today on behalf of people that really know things about money, Community Choice Credit Union, to help out people like me who don't really know much about money and want to do the right thing at the holidays. You guys are engaged. You've been giving us great advice with Phil and Ethan, but you got important advice. We're talking Christmas. Hey, how do I set this budget up? What do I do?
Yeah, no, thank you so much for having me today. I love talking about these things. Christmas is such an exciting time, but it can get overwhelming when you see all these different things that you want to get and give to people. And I'm such a giver that, it even took me quite a long time to figure out kind of what worked and what made sense. And so when we talk about setting a budget and things, it's important to kind of get an idea of how much you're wanting to spend for each person. Like that's a good starting point. And then there are lots of different tools that you can use, whether they be electronic tools or, different things. Like I like to reference Dave Ramsey's envelope system, even for holiday budgeting, that you have specifically just in your wallet, in your purse, in your car, wherever. That'll help kind of get you off to the right start with, establishing those ground rules before you start going hog wild and spending all your money.
I've been known to do that. Is there a time of the year where people should really start to stop and, all right, I'm going to start budgeting out the holidays? Is there a time of the year when that should happen, or how does it work?
Most people start to think about it when Christmas stuff goes up in the stores, like around November. And usually that's really not the right time to start thinking about your budget and what you want to do. So I encourage people to really start right at the beginning of the year, right after you're done spending for Christmas. When Christmas is over, think about that dollar amount that you're wanting to set for yourself. Community Choice specifically has a really great setup within our accounts called targets. And you can set a dollar amount that you are wanting to have it as a target. And then it will break it down for you and tell you how much each paycheck you need to put away to get to that target by that time. And so there's lots of different tools like that across many different financial institutions and things that you can even do on your own to get to that. So thinking about it right when Christmas is done and at the beginning of the new year and what you're wanting to spend and maybe how it went this past Christmas or where you did things wrong really is the best time to get started with thinking about that holiday budget. It feels like, oh man, just got done with Christmas, but no better time to start preparing for the next one so you feel a little bit more prepared when that time comes.
And I think the retailers are kind of looking at us and they might be going, well, it's July, and if we start our Christmas sales now, maybe they'll budget better because they seem to want to go earlier every year. And they're getting smarter.
They do, yeah.
They really are. Talk about retailers now. A lot of them will offer credit cards and things like that to get you out and do that spending. Is that smart for a lot of people to go out and do that?
Basically, the simple answer is no. That can really affect your credit adversely if you're just taking out different credit cards just to get those promos that are maybe happening. Sign up with the card today, get 20% off this entire $300 purchase that you're spending at whatever retail store. But then you're not knowing at that point in time that maybe you're getting hit with a 26% interest rate, or you're going to put yourself in a position later where it's going to be harder to pay it down. So while you should be preparing for the following Christmas and budgeting, you're still paying off last Christmas, if that makes sense. So the only time I really tell people to take advantage of those is if it's already a card that you have open with a retailer. And then if they're running a promo like 20% off if you use your card today, usually retailers will also let you make a payment in the store. So go ahead and use that card to get the 20% off. And then that second purchase that you do is just going to be paying exactly the dollar amount right on your card. So you're not being faced with a bill later.
See, when I was a kid, nobody ever offered this kind of advice. And I was one of those people that quite often fell into those sucker traps. I would run right out and I would buy the
Yep.
big expensive car stereo or whatever. And it's, hey, it's free money for now. And being a little older, you look at me and you think he's young and good looking right now. I'm a little older. This is what's important about working with a partner like you guys, to share this knowledge with the younger people out there, because I don't want them to make the same mistakes I did. And when they're able to hear it from younger people like you, who will tell them to avoid the mistakes that the big dummy made early on in life, it's a little easier to understand. And when it's with a great institution like Community Choice, now you're giving them options to really start off on some financial well-being life goals. I mean, things that'll be practiced their entire life. And to know that those are right there with you, that's what's important about this partnership to us. Is there a limit?
Absolutely.
I mean, where do you start to plan limits for people? Do you do that in your head? Do you do that for how you're related to them? What's the rule of thumb there?
I think that's probably different, a little different for everybody. I think it's really where you find your value with relationships and what's important to you. I do think that setting a budget and a limit and sticking to that is important. That's difficult for me. I'm such a giver. So having to set a budget of, X amount maybe for one of my kids, but then this pops up and it's a great deal because I'm a bargain shopper, it's tough to stick to. But I think that if you are setting a dollar amount and you do that based on whether it's your relationship or just knowing that, hey, this is just, I got to cut corners somewhere, where am I going to do this? So maybe we talk about doing coworkers or a little bit less than, sisters and brothers, or, maybe we have something worked out in terms of like playing games with families, like a Secret Santa. So you're not buying for everyone. That's a great option as well. You just focus on one gift, maybe with a couple of different groups of people, and then you're not buying 15 different things. So I think that one specifically is kind of going to be a little bit different for everybody in terms of, like I said, where they find their value in those relationships with how much they want to spend. But generally, coming up with that and sticking to it is really the most crucial part and successful part to good planning for that budget.
Where I was going with that was this list I have of things I would like. Is there a dollar amount that you would like me to set that you would spend on me?
On you specifically, Andy, is that what we're talking about?
It's worth a shot, isn't it? I just thought maybe I could get a present out of you. I guess not. I got the advice, and that's incredible stuff, Courtney.
We'll have to wait and see. We're...
I love it. If anybody needs better help from you or Ethan or anybody in the world of Community Choice Credit Union, tell me where to stop in and see you guys.
Yeah, so we've got 3 locations in the city of Muskegon. We've got my member center is on Estes Street. We're close to the lake shore over off of West Sherman. We do have our building for sale. We're going to be moving into our Harvey Street location sometime next year, so stay tuned on that. But also you can visit Ethan and his team down on 121 West Western. And then Phil and his team are over on East Ellis Road near the airport. So we've got a few different convenient locations around town. I
don't know why Phil's name slipped my mind there just for a second. It just for a quick second, it slipped my mind. But I'm going to call him next and see what he's got for me for Christmas, since you're being a little tight-lipped.
Perfect.
Yeah,
you
it's
should
great
hit him
to
up.
see you.
Yeah.
Thanks so very much. Plan on a great holiday. And if you need more help, stop in and see Courtney, Phil, Ethan, or anybody at a Community Choice Credit Union.